about the entire class 9 book, but what about map work? This is the comment that I recently got on the video, and I got the idea to bring this map work prediction for all my class 9 special students. So class 9 students, they showered a lot of love on my recent videos where I taught you class 9th SST chapter wise one-shot videos, but there I was repeatedly getting the comments, ma'am, what about map work? Because they are going to be the part of our half-yearly examination. Yes, my dear student, 5 marks come directly from the map work. And this year, as it is the new syllabus, new books, new map added, but not any syllabus is defined by CBSE or given by CBSE as a part of our academic curriculum, and hence, I brought to you this map work prediction video. Again, welcome on the platform Diksha Vedanto. I am your SST faculty Tanvi Pahuja. Beta, from your part 1 book of SST, right? Again, I'm saying that from the part 1 book of SST, I have taken certain map work from the part of history as well as geography, right? For 5 marks, map work comes in your exam. For 2 marks directly from history as well as 3 marks from geography. However, I have found here in this particular time that there might be certain changes. We are not well aware about that. But yes, 5 marks will be there. The changes might be there in terms of the weightage to history and geography, because this year, bacha, there are a lot of maps in history, particularly in comparison to geography in part 1 book. Not about part 2 book I am talking about, right? So, it's the list of all the important map work taken directly from the book. First, we will talk about one important thing that you have to do as a part of your studies to buy these maps. Because you people feel that map work is something you just see and will do. You will mark the locations in the exam. But you know that it is not an easy task. Just like you see the sum of maths, right? And think that I will be solving it in the exam, and then what happens in the exam? You actually know that. Similarly, when you just look at the locations of the map, we are not someone who is very much well practiced in map work, right? Either it be map of India or it be map of the world. And hence, just seeing the location do not work out. You have to do first thing, beta, buy these maps first. These maps includes India's political map, physical map, world political map, and world physical map. Ma'am, is the world map important? Yes, they are important because we have certain locations in our book, part 1 book of SST, Understanding Social Science. Oh, okay, that's the first chapter, sorry. Right, the book of SST. So, beta, we will start with a list of map work that I found out in geography. Again, the syllabus is not defined anywhere. This is just a prediction which I did. I took all the important locations which are mentioned in the book and marked it here. From the chapter Shaping of Earth Crust, I found that Mid-Atlantic Ridge, San Andreas Fault, Ring of Fire, and Sundarban Delta. When I talk about atmosphere and climate, in this chapter there were 2 maps. There were 2 maps regarding the monsoon season of India, right? So we have added all of them here. We'll talk about each of them one by one. First of all, about the 4 important locations which I just talked about. See, the first one is Ring of Fire. But in this chapter, we study about the movement of the plate. And because of that plate tectonics, there are different landforms being formed, right? There was converging boundary when 2, what we can say, plates were colliding with each other, right? There were 2 plates when they were diverging with each other. Sometimes they form foldings and sometimes they form faulting. So here when Pacific as well as North American plate drifted from each other, it created a fault in USA San Andreas Fault, which is right now in California, USA, right? Similarly, when we talk about this Mid-Atlantic Ridge, it is a folding because of this European as well as American plate when converged led to the formation of Mid-Atlantic Ridge, which is right now present in the Atlantic Ocean. Then we have Sundarban Delta. Because we know that the great rivers of India, Ganga and Brahmaputra, as it flows into a long direction, it carries lot of sediments. As it carries lot of sediments, what happened? It deposited before entering to the ocean, right? And there it forms a delta that is world largest delta in India. That is Sundarban Delta, named after which trees? Sundari trees. Okay? And then we have Ring of Fire. Beta, why it is referred as Ring of Fire? Because this zone This area in the Pacific Ocean is famous for what? Again and again, volcanic eruptions or active volcanic eruption. These are the four important things. Then we have these two map work that is given in your book. This comes from the chapter Atmosphere and Climate. It comes from which chapter? Atmosphere and Climate. It talks about the monsoon of India, which we see particularly at what time? After the summer season, rainy season particularly. And it is the result of bit of southwest winds. Okay. So it is the result of which wind? Southwest wind. Regarding the monsoon of India, if you are not aware about, ma'am, what these wind shows, why it is coming first at Kerala, how does it reach here? Recently, yesterday, I uploaded a video about detailed description of monsoon of India. Southwest monsoon as well as northeastern one, that is retreating monsoon, right? Retreating monsoon is the monsoon when winds are going back towards equator carrying a lot of moisture. Not lot of, sometimes moisture, and gives rainfall in India during the winter season. So you can have a look at those pictures. Question can come from this topic also. Now coming towards history wala part. Okay? Here is a list of it. I hope that whatever I'm telling you today, you're going to mark it in the map work, learn it, because you have yearly map work will be there for how many marks? 5 marks. Coming to history. 2 chapters history. Early human and beginning of civilization. Then we have state and society up to 1000 CE. But there are 5 map work given in first chapter and some around 5 and 6 in the second chapter as well. Right? From the first chapter, we will be marking all the 4 major civilization of the world. Right? Then easy early dispersal of Homo erectus out of Africa. This is given in page number 64. I listed here in a view that my students need not to struggle in finding these map works here. Right? Already everything is added in this particular PDF, and if you are thinking, ma'am, we want this PDF anyhow. But a link is given in the description. You join that courses as well as join the WhatsApp channel. You will get everything over there. Don't worry about anything. All the PDFs, all the written notes will be available to you at the same platform of Vedantu. The course link is given in description as well as on the WhatsApp channel. The WhatsApp link is also given in the description. I want each of my student to use this hard work of mine, right? So again, now early human site in Indian subcontinent at the page number 68. Major Harappan sites at page number 74. Harappan contact with Mesopotamian cities at page number 82. Next is about state and society. See, here we have major civilizations of the world. Something is wrong with this. Something is wrong with this. Let's check. Megalith and Iron Age sites at page number 102. Major Mahajanpads at page number 104. Kingdom between 3rd to 10th century at page number 113. Prominent universities at page number 126. And major trade routes of historic India at page number 130. Ma'am, please show them. Yes, these are it. So, beta, the first chapter, that is early human and the rise of civilization, starts telling us that, beta, there were 4 great civilizations in the world, and one among them was Indus Valley, or what we call now as Sindhu-Saraswati civilization over the river Indus. Okay? Located. So, this was Indus Valley civilization. If world map comes, you have to mark it. Right? So, where was Mesopotamian civilization? So, beta, Mesopotamian civilization was on the bank of river Euphrates as well as Tigris, right? So, mark this location. Mark this location. Then in Africa, we have Egyptian civilization over the river Nile. Over the river Nile. One more is there, that is Chinese civilization over river Huanghe and Yangtze. Okay? Huanghe and Yangtze. This question is definitely going to come in your examination as well as in the marking scheme too. Lot of pictures more they were added in the what we can say book. I added it in the reference that if we miss something, I know that it will cost your marks, right? So I will be telling you certain important things that we have to mark, okay, before your exam. But not everything in there is important. Not everything here is important. We are well aware about that. Basically, this image shows us how Homo erectus was the first human which moved out of Africa and got settled in different parts of Asia and Europe. So how we have to figure them out? So this is beta Sahara and Arabian region, desert region. From where to different parts of the world they moved. Majorly they moved toward Asia and then towards Europe. You can have a look at that, right? What important location is marked here is Hathnora. Okay? The important location that is marked in India is Hathnora, is predominantly the site where early humans have been found. Okay? Early humans have been found. So you have to remember this location in India. That's it from this map, nothing more. Then we will move to the another one. Beta, we know about Stone Age, right? Now we learn the chapter, we know about Stone Age. There were 3 ages in the Stone Age and one was Paleolithic. Okay? One was Paleolithic, the other was Mesolithic and the next one was Neolithic. So all the sites are marked here, ma'am. Do we need to mark all of them, beta? No, not at all. You need not to mark all of them because I understand that remembering the sites is a big task, not even done by me up till now. How can my choto students do this here? So what we are going to do is right now, we will mark the important locations which have certain, like what we can say importance particularly. See, first of all, you will mark Mehergarh. First of all, you will mark Mehergarh. This is one of the earliest Neolithic site where humans found about what, beta? When humans found about early farming methods or evidence of farming by humans. Okay? This one is important. Then go to the region of Jammu and mark Burzahom. I'm marking here. Please mark it in your book right now. So Burzahom is also an important one. Then what we can do, I am just guessing, right? We can mark one of the site that is a Neolithic site in Assam, that is Daujili Harding. Okay, Daujili Harding is an important site in Assam. Then Lahur Deva. Lahur Deva basically is in UP, where we found the evidences of iron tools in the later Neolithic phase, right? Later wala phase, beta. As well as the evidence of farming also at Lahur Deva, right? Then the most important is Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh. Hathnora in Madhya Pradesh. Okay, Hathnora, the same I was talking about recently, where Homo erectus evidence have been found, right? So, Bhimbetka is a cave painting site where we got to know about the stone tools and the, with the help of painting about the Stone Age people. Okay, so Bhimbetka is important here. Hathnora is important. In Rajasthan, Bagar is very, very important, beta. Like move little southward, Isampur is important here in Karnataka. Okay, then again here Fahin Lena is in Sri Lanka. Mark that. Okay, Fahin was a Chinese traveler, by the way, if you know about it. Okay, then I think that this much is important. Bagor, okay. Mahadevra is okay. Fine. So this much is important from that, and in particular, if your school tells you important locations, please mark them so that we don't miss any marks in your exam. Next one. So next one here is about major Harappan sites. Beta, this is very, very important. Major what? Harappan sites. Here the Harappan sites are listed from the early Harappan age as well as the mature phase. Okay. So what happens now, beta? Indus Valley civilization is considered to be of the India's, okay, first civilization. You know what civilization means? Where we find urban cities. Yes, that's true. And these are those urban cities, either in the early phase or in the mature phase particularly. Okay? In the book, it is mentioned that it is Sindhu Saraswati. It is Sindhu Saraswati. Because Sindhu is the name Saraswati. Sindhu is the name for Indus River. Indus River. You know that Sindhu is also attached with these tributaries, that is Jhelum, okay? Jhelum, Chenab, okay? Then it is Ravi, okay? It is Byas, okay? Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Byas and Satluj. Now, all these 7 rivers are collectively known as Sapta Sindhu. And in this Sapta Sindhu region, we found these sites, important sites of the Harappan civilization. Now, I will be telling you certain important ones which you have to mark anyhow. The first and the most important is Mohenjo-daro, right? Largest Harappan site. Let me tell you what it is. So, beta, it is the largest Harappan site, ठीक है, or what we can say largest IVC, Indus Valley Civilization site, Sindhu Saraswati site. Then we have on the bank of river Ravi, Harappa. Harappa is the first site that was found, and hence we also call it as first, what we can say, Harappan civilization. It is named after the site first. It was by Dayaram Sahani. It was found in 1924. So Harappa is the first major site. Then we have Mohenjo-daro, right? Then we have Kot Diji, again an important site. This is an early site. When I talk about India, this was for Indian subcontinent. These sites, Kot Diji, Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, are right now in Pakistan. When I talk about India particularly right now, we have one big city, Kalibangan in Rajasthan. Kalibangan means black bangles, and it is right now in Rajasthan. Then we have Dholavira in Gujarat. We have Lothal again in Gujarat. Okay, Lothal is nearby, not so nearby, but yeah, somewhere nearby Somnath. So these are the two locations, Dholavira and Lothal. You know, Somnath is also an early Harappan site. So it is great history about Somnath also. ठीक है, Rakhigari, that is particularly in Haryana. Rakhigari, that is particularly where? In Haryana, are the important locations of the Harappan sites. Pay attention to this particularly. ठीक है? Then we will see another map work, that is Harappan contact with Mesopotamian cities. So beta, this map shows the ancient two civilizations that were connected with each other. So we know that for longer period of time, the contemporary civilization that existed in the world were two. One was Mesopotamian civilization over the river Euphrates and Tigris, and as well as one of the major civilization was IVC, that Indus Valley civilization. We call it Harappan civilization, and that new book call it Sindhu Saraswati civilization, right? Do they have any contact? Yes. See, it's an irony that Indus Valley civilization script is not yet deciphered, but Mesopotamian script that was written in cuneiform, right? Cuneiform script on clay tablets by Sumerians is somewhere deciphered. We talk about certain names which they refer to Indus Valley locations, right? So let's talk about them. See, we also people knew about them with certain names like Dilmun. Dilmun was the name we refer to the Mesopotamian people. And this is Mohenjo-daro. This is Mohenjo-daro right now, that is in Pakistan. Was a great, or what we can say, the largest site of Sindhu Saraswati civilization. Okay? You know that the Mesopotamian peoples knew us with a name that is Meluha. Do remember this, why this question can come, and by the way, this is a UPSC question. When I attempted for UPSC, the similar question came over there. Okay? It was not that easy, straightforward question, otherwise I would have selected. So, coming back to it, Mohenjo-daro, okay? The people of Mesopotamia used to call this Meluha, and we knew about certain port cities, that is Dilmun, one of them. We have like, it is near Bahrain, okay? So yes, this is given here. What you have to remember is Meluhan sites. Meluhan sites matlab IVC sites. Mesopotamian sites, some of the important ones, Magan and Dilmun. That is what I just told you. These are important ones. Now coming towards the next one, beta, this is about Megalithic Stone Age. Okay, Megalithic Stone Age, let me tell you, right? See, Stone Age is one of the period in Indian history which was so long, when people used stone tools. But eventually what we have found now, for a longer period of time, when Stone Age was ended in India, still there were sites which were actually Stone Age sites, but they were megalith site. So now what is this megalith? Beta, lith here stands for stone, and mega here stands for large, obviously mega, mini and all that. So what is this large Stone Age? What happened now? When common practice is noted in these sites of Stone Age, in which dead bodies were buried, and around them large slabs of stones were kept, either in rectangular shape, circular shape or square shape. But we have found those evidence, and that evidence are majorly found in southern part of India. Or I would say that below the central India, everywhere in Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Andhra, etc. So here are the locations from that megalith sites. I would name certain important one here like Masti. Okay? Musky, this is near Hampi in Karnataka. Important one, Brahmagiri. Beta, very, very important Brahmagiri. Right? Then we have here in Tamil Nadu, Pudukkottai. ठीक है, Pudukkottai, Nagarjun Konda here. Right? These are some certain important one. And two of the important locations in northern India. Also, we have found one is Borzahom, right? Borzahom in Jammu and Diodhura in it's at the border of UP. ठीक है? Connecting to the Himalayan region also. So these are the important what megalithic site. I hope beta you're marking it on your NCRT. Otherwise, same thing will happen to you. That we just see the locations and then go blank. Okay. Recently, right now in this video, I'm telling you the important locations when I will be making you learn them in the next video possible, in the easiest way possible. Fine? Okay with this? Chalo. Let's move to the next map. I hope we are not left with a lot of them. So now moving towards the next chapter, second chapter in the last chapter, that is state and society. That is what? State and society. Beta, now what happened? Now what happened? Bhai, civilization is done. Now people started writing. Vedic age is started. Iron age is there when people are humans are now able to make their settlements. That settlements are growing day by day and day by day. From Jana made the Janpads, and those Janpads converted into Mahajanpads, powerful kingdoms of all the time. You know that according to Buddhist as well as Jaina literature. So we are aware about that. Again, certain strict Hindu practices, what happened? Two new religion. However, the starting of that was not in a view that it will become religion. So two new ideologies started in India. One is Buddhism and other one is Jainism. In that, the philosophers lot of books in that literature. Yes, in that literature, we got the information about 16 Mahajanpads. Okay, 16 Mahajanpads. And if you are thinking, ma'am, do we need to learn all of them? How bhai? You have to learn all of them, not only just for exam, it's for your knowledge and to be proud of Indian history. Okay? 16 Mahajanpadas. Fine. So, the first one here is Cambodia. Okay? The first one here is something is hiding. I will try to locate it by the way. Fine. So, here are certain list. Acha, page number I have written already in the starting of the video. Please see that. So we have the list of Cambodia. Cambodia is not right now in India. It went in Pakistan. So we have Cambodia, Matsya, Sursena, Vatsa, Kashi, Vriji, Anga, Avanti, Panchala, Kosala, Mathura, Malla. Okay. So Asmaka, you know, Maharashtra, Asmaka, this is one of the southernmost, what, Pita? Southernmost Mahajanpad. Then the strongest one among them was Avanti. One of the strongest one is Avanti, which is the name of present city Ujjain, which was initially Ujjaini. Then we have the strongest one, which is Magad. Right now that is known as Patna initially it was Patliputra, which is now Patna. The capital of Magad was Patliputra. So this is how beta we have 16 strongest Mahajanpads in India. Again, the map was given in your book. Please go and learn them. I will be bringing video to make it learn, right? Then we have one more list. This is about what? The kingdoms. Okay? After the downfall of Gupta Empire. So what happened, beta? Among these Mahajanpadas, right? Among these Mahajanpadas, the strongest one was Magad. The strongest one was Magad, right? However, there was like strongest even the kingdoms and the dynasty during the time of Magad. But then, after this Magad dynasty, we got what? Mauryan dynasty. I won't call Magad as dynasty, sorry for that. So then we got Mauryan dynasty. The founders was Chandragupta Maurya. The great ruler was Ashoka, right? After which came in picture Gupta dynasty. Okay? But after the downfall of the Gupta dynasty, there was no single dynasty in northern India which kept it united. Or which I can call it as an all India kingdom. Then what happened? There will be division, obviously. Yes. So in the northern part of India in the later 3rd to 10th century, there were a lot of divisions in which the three important dynasties fighting to each other. 7th class topic is this, right? 7th class topic is this, that in the left it was Gurjar Pratihara. Present day Gujarat and Rajasthan, Gurjar Pratihara tribal community. Then in the east, there were Palas, which even like expanded their empire towards Assam. And then we have in the Deccan region, Rashtrakoot. However, during the same contemporary time in South India, there were Chalukyas and Pallavas and the Cholas, which were among the greatest, what we can say, kingdom of the ancient India. But all these three dynasties were fighting for one single capital. I want the answer in the comment section because you studied something. This is class 7. There was a capital initially of Magad, that is Patna, which was later replaced by a place, right? Later replaced by a place because of which all these three great dynasties were fighting. And even the story is also given in your book. So the answer should be in the comment section. And the last but not the least map work, I hope it is last, that is about the greatest ancient centers of learning. But I was reading somewhere recently that among the 20 great temples in the world, India have 18 of them. Okay? But when we talk about the greatest universities in the world, we have no great university right now among 100. How come possible? Because we were the nation which used to have greatest dynasty of all the times. And what were they? It is marked in the map. So if you believe that only Nalanda and only Takshila was the dynasty, what was the only university that used to teach not only the Indian subcontinent people, rather to the students who are coming from different countries like China, right? Like Japan, is now a country having no great university. Irony. So, here it is marked there, beta. We have Takshila, and above Takshila there was Sharda Peeth, also popularly known university in India. Ahichhatra in Uttar Pradesh, then Nalanda in Bihar, Varanasi, Vikramshila, Pushpagiri, Nagarjun Konda. Ujjaini is also a center of learning. It is even right now also the center of learning for music and all. In South India, we have Kanchipuram, Inairam and Thrissur. Okay, sometimes maybe my pronunciation is wrong. Please leave me alone leave me for that. I'm sorry for that. Fine. South Indian names are quite difficult, but I'm trying to pronounce it in a better way. Coming towards this universities, beta, what are the important ones? Again, Sharda Peeth is important, Takshila is important, Ahichhatra you have to mark in Uttar Pradesh, mark Nalanda, Odantapuri is also one of the important ones. Then we have Jaggadala, Sompura, Vikramshila, Vallabhi in Gujarat. Very, very important. Vallabhi in Gujarat. Mark those in the map right now. Okay? Again, I am telling that this is not only for marks, it is also for your knowledge. As books are Indianized, we should also, right? Tired of reading those books written by British officials. Now coming towards the last but most important one. Because see, there are certain locations listed over here, beta. Many locations are listed here and you might get confused about, ma'am, how to learn all of them. Beta, not all the locations will be coming in your exam, but yes, some of the important ones might be coming in your exam. So what you have to do is learn. Like Muziris. You know, Muziris is a location in South India which is popularly known for its trade practices with the Roman Empire. See, during the time of Chola dynasty, we have found the evidence of ship in this place, Muziris. Greatest of all time? Yes. Then we have about Madurai. Okay. Well, I will be making a video on Madras and Madurai, don't worry. Urayur is a location in South India popularly known for cotton trade during the time Cholas were ruling. Okay, that is also very good. Kanchipuram, you know that Kanchipuram, the place we just right now know about for its famous sarees. However, had a relation with fish trading activities in the ancient time and hence the name come as Kanchipuram. Okay, Masolipatnam, Machilipatnam it was previously, again with the fishing activity. So mark all these locations. This is also good for your knowledge. Dwarka. Then Ujjaini is important. I am marking important one. Mathura. Hastinapur, very, very important. Kashi is important. Kosambi is important. Vaishali, very, very important. Patliputra, important. Achha, you know that the, what we can say, capital of Magad, right? Capital of Magad previous to Patliputra was Rajgira only. So again, this is in Bihar. Okay? Then we have Champa is okay. Champa was for the capital of, I get, Avanti. ठीक है, it was the capital of Avanti. Yes, not for you, not for you. Don't go in deep. Arika Medu, please mark. Kaveri Patnam also mark, beta. Then we can mark Vidisha's fine. Okay, lived. Atranji Khera, take Ahe Chatra. And please ask your teachers in your respected school, because they are going to make your paper, to ask them to give you the map before the exam comes, so that we can understand what math practices are going to come in exam. Until then, study from here, because I ensure you that nothing is going to come out of it, because I added all the maps required for your class 9 preparation. I hope you like this video. And if in case you need anything for class 9, you're struggling with the new books, please pin the comments and I will be the one responding to you. Up till then, take care. Meet you soon in my next video. Bye-bye.